now on the panel Professor Dong-Sok Kim from UNIST University, head of the Institute for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and also head of the AI Innovation Park. And he's going to talk about the Korean perspective and the way Korea is dealing with this crisis. So, Dong, are you ready?
Yeah.
Thank you. And I will stop my sharing and please, share your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. Dominic, thanks. Francisco, good to see your perspectives. And hello, everyone. And greetings from Korea. I see many familiar faces and the names on the list. And wish you all the best and safe and healthy. I'd like to talk about, it's not my experience, but from the statistics in Korea and my experience, how we are fighting the COVID-19. At the same time, how we are changing our target on smart manufacturing in post-COVID-19 era. As you know, in these days, Korea is relatively the safe zone from COVID-19, although we are not completely out of the woods yet. We still are facing many challenges to overcome. Another big wave could come. But at any rate, I'd like to share some of the things, responses, what and how the Korea has responded, and what the manufacturing industries are preparing for from the central government point of view. Let's take a quick look at the statistics. The Korea's population is about 50 million, and so far we have 20.65 thousand confirmed cases, which is about 0.05% of population. But on a daily basis, we are about 5,200 per day confirmed cases. This is a significant change compared to March of this year, when we had about more than 1,000 confirmed cases a day. Now government has reduced the social distancing to call it level 1 since October 12th. Which is we can do pretty much what we want with the minor restrictions. But the two important ones still, face masks and social distance are required everywhere you go. Well, still we all know that the face mask is one of the key factors preventing COVID-19. But in the beginning, how we fought the COVID-19, there are 4 areas I like to focus on. One is testing. As you know, testing is important. Test kit development and the AI-based test kit and AI-based critical diagnosis, and the tracing, testing and tracing. How do we trace them? And then treatment. And finally, number 4 is social distancing. There are quite key factors affecting the Korea's status now, but I'll be happy to distribute. I cannot cover them all, but I will. One of the examples is the face mask issues, that we have a data generation and the data provision and data use, so that we have wear out of masks and how we distribute them evenly. Those kind of systems developed. And the other one is like the tracing. This slide shows too busy to see in detail. Tracing COVID-19, the infected person, and public warning system, showing that where the patients went through and after the infection. And then public warning system via cell phone or messaging, or these are the places to avoid. the systems like we have a central government system and then local system to combine together. Every time if there is a case in there, you have a warning system nearby your area. There is a one infected person and this person went through this restaurant and this bus station and so on. You should avoid them for a while. So that's kind of data driven, and then the public announced system through the data sharing was very, very effective. There are so many cases like this that we have to avoid that. At any rate, based on my experience, that face mask and social distancing and washing hands are most important parameters providing the COVID-19. I cannot share all the cases, which is other countries may do the same. So I put the two references. If you are interested in, take a look at these two references. The Korean, fortunately, written this report in English, all about Korea's response to COVID-19 and how we fought COVID-19. So these references are available. You can go through the website from the central government, or if you send in an email that I can, I'll be happy to send a copy to you. Okay, let's, we all are suffering from the COVID-19, and it's not over yet. So I want to think how this will change our lives in 4 areas. The one is a kind of thinking about the future is going more and more the untapped economy. I don't know whether this is correct English or not, but you can tell that in Korea we are using this word a lot, untapped economy. The way we are doing it, and the remote ordering, remote access. These are the kind of expansion of untapped economy, and the supply chain system changes. And the other one is a smart economy, which is it used to be more production and the fast production and so on. But right now, most of the companies are kind of under survival mode, which is a stable production rather than to do better or something. So it's kind of calm in industry-wise. Therefore, smart manufacturing is more important. And the 4th item is accelerate digital transformation. I think as Francisco initiated very well, the digital transformation is one of the key items, especially in the manufacturing area. So at this time, I like to concentrate on focus on how the Korea is moving the digital transformation in manufacturing, and how COVID-19 impacted SMEs, and what were we doing moving ahead, preparing for the post-COVID-19. Since 2014, because we are in Korea as a government-wide, there has a manufacturing innovation strategy. They call the Smart Manufacturing Project. Before COVID-19, we were focusing on digitalization of SMEs. We call it a Smart Factory Project. We started in 2014 and trying to transform about 30 SMEs to basic or first intermediate level of digital transformation by 2022. Just to give you an example, in Korea, there are about 67,000 SMEs with 10 or more employees. So by 2022, we want to have a basic digital level upgrading the SMEs, about half of the companies to move it to digital literacy. We call it smart factory. But as you can see, these are the very, very basic projects. While that project is going on, and we have like a 5-level approach, which is basic level and first intermediate level and IT level, IoT level is a 5-level of approach. And many of the companies, manual labor, ICT not used, but now they move to limited access of automation and some of the IT-based production management, like MES is applied and so on and so forth. So that is moving quite well. And the question is how we decide that the level of system. These levels are further defined by area where they are applied. For example, like a device factory or enterprise and product design and supply chain. And each one has a detail of level 1 to 5. Not only that, furthermore, we divided the 14 industry sectors and defined standard procedures to better reflect the characteristics of industry. As you can see on the right-hand side, there are 14 different industry sectors. And each industry sectors, we divide this system with inside the factory and the level of the digitization. So far, we have in Korea about 12,000 the SMEs are digitized. We call it smart factoryized, which is about the basic to the intermediate level of digitization. And in my lab in UNIST, we also developed our own evaluation system. So where you are and what level are you based on internet assessment. Unfortunately, it is written in Korean, so internet, you can have a self-assessing assessment, of your company. Where are you on the level of smart factory? And not only that, we also provide the scoring system, and then the area of weakness or area of strength, and where you need to put your manpower in, or where you put the money in, kind of things, so that we have a self-assessment tool, and you can go through through the internet. At any rate, finally, if you look at it, smart factory initiatives starting from 2014, and the entire government until 2017, we have at that time it was about the 78 factories are called it smartized, and the results are quite good, as you can see from the smartization, that we have increased to 23% productivity increase and defect rate of 46% and so on. So I would say that so far the smartization project, the result has been quite positive. But if you look at it, as I said that, I don't want to repeat that. If you look at most of the companies, this is our target by 2024, that most of the companies we have done so far are kind of, level 1 on basic level area. So we still have a lot to go, but it is a huge step for the SMEs. But anyway, we are underway on the digitization, but still a long way to go. But COVID-19 came, and then this smartization of digitization is always happening, but we said, well, we need more. At the same time, the Ministry Strategic Committee, which I'm also the member of the 20 people committee, including the minister, carefully reviewed these data. And one of the issues that 80%, about 80% of them are the basic and intermediate level. And solutions are mostly focused on the introduction of a basic, like MESs and so on. And also, it is a production site and facility automation. So since 2020, we are focusing more on the AI or big data or data sharing. And then I like to share about 2 points. There are a couple of points which is going on. So first one is more focusing on data sharing. The first part is data sharing between the LSE and MSEs, which is the large size enterprises and the small size enterprises, the connection. First one is to create the value through connection between the LSEs, large size companies, and SMEs. One is as an implementation, the 3 practices were recommended. The one is data sharing among LSEs and tier 1 to 3 parts. This should be not one-way communication. This should be this 2-way communication. The second part is to manage a lifecycle product based on the AI platform by sharing data between companies in the value chain. And to receive orders from all over the place. We call it the connected enterprise. In summary, that first one is the more connection between the LSEs and SMEs. The second part is more focus on AI-based solution development. Utilizing the AI solution is the key. Manufacturing plant, with the help from the supplier, can generate data and they collect data and store data. And then someone use the data and the data analytics, and then provide the solution providers use these data and provide proper solutions to meet or exceed the objectives. This system is underdeveloped and working very hard to get all the system synchronized the government-wise. In the near future, that it can be systematically configured through IaaS, infra as a service, and PaaS, platform as a service, and then the SaaS, the help companies improving their bottom line. This is the way we are building on as a government side. Each company has their edge gateways to the cloud system approval. I believe Dominique Ramos will talk about the Gaia-X, and there will be one or other way to store data, and these are the way we are working on. I'm sorry, in summary, manufacturing innovation based on digital transformation is happening everywhere in the world. Korea is one of them. For SMEs, it started from production innovation by digitizing all assets. In retrospect, this is a great step toward transforming conventional manufacturing plants to meet the next level. The COVID-19 accelerated these processes. In other words, from manufacturing automation to move more on the data sharing and utilizing the AI. Well, we cannot stop here. Connected enterprise, one, as I said before, connection between the LSE and SMEs are very important. And second one is AI solution-based manufacturing innovations are considered to be the next big step toward smart manufacturing transformation. In Korea, we, including my institute, have developed and are developing a few cases for data-driven AI solutions and trying to standardize them for others to learn and utilize them quickly. I hope you all be safe and more proactive in adapting digital transformation and the AI solution-based process solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dong, Professor Dong Kim. Very interesting insight from the Korean perspective, both on the reaction to the COVID crisis and also how the smart manufacturing strategy is set up in Korea. Dong, I would have a very quick question to you. Do you know roughly how much Korea is testing on COVID-19 actually, and how fast can you find out in Korea that the person is infected?
Yeah. If you look at this, can you see that so far we have about 2.6 million tests performed? On a daily basis, we have about 10,000 tests, and results could come within a day or so, a day or two. So, yeah, we have a very quick system there, but the accuracy and we have about so far 2.6 million tests done.
We heard that this resolute testing strategy is maybe one of the reasons why Korea is doing so much better compared to other countries. So it's quite interesting that Korea is taking this path quite early.
Yeah, two things. I'm not the the central disease, but we are hearing the news is two things. The tracing system, just like if you have at the very beginning, tracing individually, following everything, but now there's so many, it's difficult. So tracing system with a kind of a location, the regional restrictions seems like working quite well in here.
All right, great. So are there questions from the audience? Or David, do you have any comments?
Well, just to highlight, right, once again, that what makes smart manufacturing smart, it's the availability and the sharing of data. And this is something that later on in the day, we're going to go more into detail, right? How we can collect data, how we can share data, always respecting the privacy of people, right? And using ethical use of data, which we have seen here in Korea, right? That they have achieved thanks to that smart manufacturing capabilities for the continuity of their production operations, but also for supporting their smart cities, right? And really taking advantage of the high degree of digitalization that they have, this digital literacy that was mentioned by Professor Dong, right? And I think it's a fantastic example, right? I mean, we want that fourth industrial revolution and that these new industry 4.0 technologies don't only create a significant impact in factories, make them more productive, efficient, but we want that also make our societies better in terms of quality of living, and of course making safe our societies against these pandemics. It's a relevant thing to highlight.
Perfect. So then again, thank you, Dom, for your presentation. We have now Dominic Ramos on the panel. Dr. Dominic Ramos is the CTO of the Lab Network Industry 4.0. And yeah, he's going to introduce to us the Gaia X project, which is actually the European initiative on data sharing between businesses.